Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Gloria, for bringing us together on this special day. I think it's going to be really hot, so we're doing the right thing getting this started so early. So my name is Felicia Shaw, and as Executive Director of the Women's Museum of California, I want to welcome you to our new facility here at the Joe and Vi Jacobs Center for Neighborhood Innovation in District 4. Please join me in recognizing that we stand on the unceded and ancestral homeland of the Kumeyaay Nation. We extend our respect and gratitude to the Kumeyaay peoples who have lived here since time immemorial. So we're pleased to host this morning's press conference for a number of reasons. First, what an opportunity to let the public know that within a few weeks, these doors right behind me will be open and we'll be welcoming everyone to our new Center for Education and Community Engagement. For nearly 40 years, the Women's Museum of California has worked to share the untold stories of women and their accomplishments, stories that are missing even today from our history books. Now, in one of the most culturally and racially diverse communities in San Diego, we have the opportunity to tell a more complete and inclusive story of the women who've made our community great. I'm also glad that we're gathered here today because what better time to make an important announcement about the future of women than during Women's History Month. Each year and throughout the month of March, we reflect on the courage of women of past generations and celebrate how their efforts and bravery enabled women the opportunities and freedoms we enjoy today. When we watch Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson expertly navigate her Supreme Court confirmation hearing, I can't help but think of all the brilliant women in our lives who had talent and qualifications, but not the opportunity to achieve their goals. Judge Jackson stands on the shoulders of so many women whose tireless efforts ensured that her nomination and hopefully her confirmation might be possible. Women of all backgrounds are making history every day. And finally, I'm thrilled that we're here today because the announcement the mayor is about to make is important. While the Women's Museum of California has been hard at work preserving women's histories and telling our stories, to be honest, we need more than stories to address the challenges that so many women face today. Now, more than ever, we need a city governmental body that will document the reality of women's lives in our community, shape local standards on gender equality, and foster opportunities for empowerment. Mayor Gloria, you've said more than a few times that you're a proud feminist, and I'm really glad about that. What this means to us is that you believe that all genders have equal rights and opportunities. You respect diverse women's experiences, identities, knowledge, and strengths, and strive to empower all women to realize their full rights. And I hope that your strong beliefs inform all the good work that lies ahead. And I know that the vision you have for the new commission can't be achieved without the support and participation of all of us, both women and men. Know that the Women's Museum of California stands ready to support your efforts in any way we can. Thank you, Mayor Gloria, for allowing the Women's Museum of California to host this press conference and be a part of this historic event. And now I'm pleased to invite Mayor Todd Gloria to the podium.
Thank you. Felicia, thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, Felicia, members of our City Council, as well as some inspirational women who've joined us this morning. And small correction, Felicia, thank you. This is the perfect venue for making this announcement. And I want to encourage San Diegans to come back here. What's the opening day? In May. To experience this new location for the Women's Museum. I'm joined this morning by City Council members Marni von Wilpert, Vivian Moreno, Dr. Jennifer Campbell, and Council President Pro Tem Monica Montgomery Steppe, whose district we're in this morning. I'm also joined, as I mentioned, by some inspirational and phenomenal women who are supporters of this effort here being announced today. With all that we have achieved in our great nation, we still have so much to do when it comes to achieving our ideal of equality for all people. And despite substantial progress over the last several decades, women and girls continue to experience inequality in our society. As long as that's the case, it's up to all of us, leaders at all levels of all genders, to take the steps necessary to address it. And that's what we're doing today. I'm pleased to announce the City of San Diego is reviving its Commission on the Status of Women. This commission will ensure that we tackle local issues concerning women and girls from those with lived experiences and insight that will advise our decision making at City Hall. Felicia was kind to say that I'm doing this, but I want to be explicit and clear. I'm doing this in partnership with the council members who are with me this morning. That's how we get things, all things done at City Hall, but particularly how we should be doing this particular initiative, which focuses and centers on women and girls. When this commission was established nearly 50 years ago and has been defunct for the last several years, if you read the original resolution, it speaks to many of the challenges women were facing then. Very unique or sometimes forgotten about challenges about access to credit for single women, divorced women, or widowed women. Now, we'd like to think we've addressed that relatively successfully, although probably there's still room for improvement. But the truth is that today, there continue to be significant challenges in this city and across our society when it comes to women and girls. And particularly our focus and concern around economic development, around healthcare, around education, around parenting. This council, in my administration, worked last year to create the city's first Office of Child and Youth Success. This commission will be helpful in making sure that the work of that particular office is as impactful as possible for the mothers and in our community. So we have a lot of work to do for making sure that we in our city benefit fully from the abilities, the talents, and the successes of women in San Diego. And this commission will help harness those skill sets to make sure the decision-making at City Hall is better and more inclusive. To that end, I want to acknowledge that in the last year, we've been able to have a majority of our appointees to boards and commissions at the City of San Diego be women. That is unique, that is different, and that's a reflection of this administration and this city council's prioritization for diversity, equity, inclusion in the work that we do. And I want to give some credit to our Director of Boards and Commissions, Chida Warren Darby, who is here today. Chida, thank you for your great work in making sure that our boards and commissions are reflective of the great diversity of this city. So again, we have a lot of work to do around representation, wages, parenting, a host of subject matters, and I'm grateful to the women and men who may serve on this commission. And we put the call out today to ask folks to start considering whether or not they would be willing to serve in this capacity. We could use your talent in this regard. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to turn this podium over to the council member for District 4, our council president pro tem, and my friend, Councilmember Monica Montgomery Steppe. Councilmember.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for that introduction. I just want to start off by saying I'm very proud to be here this morning in District 4 at the Women's History Museum, particularly during Women's History Month. Women particularly have experienced a grueling past week with the confirmation hearings of Judge Jackson and also the passing of the Honorable Madeleine Albright. And so I just also want to say in her honor that she truly believed and said often that the world is a better place when women have political and economic power. And so with that, it's a wonderful day to announce this relaunching. So this museum is in the heart of District 4, and it presents the opportunity for each San Diegan to recognize American women from every race, class, and ethnic background in their contributions to culture and history. I want to say thank you to Ms. Felicia Shaw, who had the vision of coming to the district. We talked about it about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we're here now. So that is so important. And in May, everyone will get to be able to join us. I'm also very pleased to join my colleagues in the announcement of relaunching the Commission on the Status of Women, the Mayor, Councilmember von Wilpert, Councilmember Moreno, Councilmember Campbell. The story and perspective of women deserve telling because of the significance and the role we all have in making and shaping the cultural and societal fabrics of this city, of California, and of the entire nation. Too often, women's social issues and disparities are overlooked and ignored. This furthers the disenfranchised generations that have had devastating consequences in our communities, particularly in the workplace, the healthcare sector, and overall public safety. To highlight these disparities even further, the intersectionality of race and gender creates specific, unique challenges for women of color that are too easily ignored with broad platitudes that seek to advance women's representation without questioning which women are most likely to benefit. If we cannot see or identify a problem, we can't fix the problem. And this commission presents an opportunity to explore the ways that San Diego can be more equitable and make societal progression for all women. It will require diving into difficult conversations and realizing the narratives that have been built in opposition of women's successes. But together, we can be empowered to uproot the deep-seated inequities that are part of the realities in the city. And I want to thank all community members and leaders that are here with us and those who are not, because they have continually done this work, whether it's popular or not. And so I want to say thank you to all of you. And with that, I want to introduce my dear friend and colleague, Councilmember von Wilpert.
Thank you very much, Council President Pro Tem. I just found out this morning when I have coffee with my mom that Madeleine Albright went to her high school and started the International Relations Club. And look where she ended up. Many years before my mom. I'm not aging her. I'm not dating her. So good morning. Thank you very much, Ms. Felicia Shaw, for having us here today. Thank you very much to the mayor and for all of my colleagues. I'm very excited for all the amazing women who are standing here alongside us, and as Council President Pro Tem Montgomery Steppe said, all the amazing women out there who've been in this fight for years. We're very proud to be here on this day. I agree wholeheartedly that until we achieve true equity for women in our country, it's up to leaders at every level of government to act. And I am proud that we as a city are recommending to achieve greater equity among all genders here at home. This very important commission is tasked with ensuring that our city tackles local issues concerning women and girls, including looking at ways to eliminate inequities in our local laws and practices, even within our own city. I thank all of the new commission members, whoever they may be, in advance for their work and for your volunteerism to help our city. Gender equity is a basic human right, yet gender discrimination and violence are still so prevalent in our society today. While every generation of women has been better off than the last, we still face challenges in our lives that men don't face. According to Your Safe Place, a family justice center here in San Diego, the average age of young women who are coerced into sex trafficking is 16 years old. It is an $800 million industry, the illicit sex economy in San Diego, and it's the second largest underground economy. There are as many as 8,000 victims here in San Diego County every year. Domestic violence and sex trafficking happen every day here in San Diego County. Even though we've made great strides against combating violence against women, we need to do more. A comprehensive pay equity study of San Diego City's workforce released last year shows that women earn 17.6% less than men, and people of color earn 20.8% less than white people. But there is good news. We have taken great strides here in San Diego to fund incredible organizations like Your Safe Place, a family justice center, and taken guns out of the hands of domestic violence abusers who might want to hurt their partners. We here in California passed a law in 2020 to open up powerful corporate boardrooms to women all throughout the state, and we've seen them step up, take that role, and take the handles of power and a seat at the table. And during the Me Too movement, we have seen ordinary women speak up for their rights on the job and hold very powerful men to account through our justice system. We are doing more and more every day, but it doesn't mean our work is done. My true hope is that the next generation of girls that come behind us doesn't have to fight for equal pay, or fight not to be sexually harassed at the job, or fight to face racism every day. That they will live in a world where they don't fear violence, that they will live in a society that equally values their contributions and they receive the recognition and the respect they deserve because of who they are. So reestablishing the Commission on Women is a great first step we can take to ensure a more equitable future for San Diego's women. Thank you so much to Ms. Shaw, to the mayor, all of my council colleagues, and all the women behind us for coming together to create a more equitable city for the next generation of girls. And at this moment, I'd like to invite my great friend and colleague, Councilmember Moreno, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be a part of the Commission on the Status of Women for the City of San Diego. Thank you to Mayor Gloria for reviving this commission and to the Women's History Museum and the Joe and V. Jacobs Center for hosting us here today. It is significant that we are here for this announcement during Women's History Month as we recognize the courage of women in past generations and celebrate how their efforts and bravery afforded women the opportunity and freedoms that we have here today. One of my favorite quotes is from Eleanor Roosevelt, which is, "For your own success to be real, it must contribute to the success of others." I have proudly embraced this philosophy throughout my career, first as a mentor in Manas Hermanitas program, to guide my mentees as a young woman and see her successfully graduate from college was incredibly gratifying. I have to share a story. I'm going to go off script. When I was running for office back in 2018, I walked 8,000 doors to get elected. One of those doors that I knocked, a man told me, "But can a woman be a city council member?" Guess what? A woman could be a city council member and she could do it pregnant too. Yeah. So when I took office, I made it a priority to recruit Latinas and females to our city's boards and commissions. I have proudly nominated 7 Latinas to serve at the city, and I soon will be nominating an amazing and accomplished individual that is here with us today, Dr. Jessica Diaz-Roman, to this commission. I have also organized a girls' empowerment event for San Ysidro Middle School students last year. The event provided resources and an opportunity for students to discuss challenges in their own lives. It is my responsibility as an elected leader to provide guidance and leadership in empowering Latinas in District 8. One of the lessons my mom taught me is that givers gain, and that's why I'm here today. That's why I am a public servant. I look forward to being part of this commission to ensure the promotion of gender equity and the empowerment of women. Thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Councilmember Dr. Jennifer Campbell.
Yes, thank you so much, and thanks to all my colleagues. I just want to say how wonderful it is that women can multitask. Thank you for multitasking. As a mother, grandma, great-grandma myself, I have lived a lot of history. So I just want to tell you a little bit about my profession. Before I became a council member, I was a physician. For 40 years, I was in practice of medicine and acupuncture. The last part of my career, I taught integrative medicine, Eastern Western. So anyway, I just wanted to remind you that even as recently as, doesn't seem so recent now, 50 years ago, when I was interested in going to medical school, there were only 5 careers open to women. I don't know if you young guys know that, you young folks. But you could be a secretary, a teacher, you could be a social worker or a nurse or a mom, and that was it. And usually the moms had to stay home because if you were a working mom, that just wasn't, the thing. So it was really bad. And so I, as a child, got these double messages. My mother would say, "You can be anything you want to be, just study, study, study." And society would say, "You can be any of these 5 jobs." That's it. So, what happened was after I was married and had kids, actually, I was in my early 20s, I became really interested in science and knew that my calling was to be a family doctor. And so I went to the library, I studied hard, I went back to college, I took all science and math, and applied to med school. And let me tell you, it was pretty rough being told the same thing as you guys were told. Vivian was told, "Can a woman be a doctor? You're taking a man's job. Shame on you." Things like that. But guess what? I persisted. And I was so glad because it was the most wonderful thing in my life to have a job that I loved. And I love this job too. It's really different, but I do love it. And it's wonderful to have these great colleagues. And our mayor, whom I adore, been friends for years and years, and I can tell you that This city has never had so many women in charge of so many departments and doing so many great things since he became mayor. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We could make you an honorary woman if you... Okay, I'm going to tell you one more quick story. When I was first on council, like 3.5 years ago, it came to us that we needed more shelter for the homeless, especially homeless women and women with children and families. And so it was brought up to the city council, I believe by my dear colleague Vivian, that we have Golden Hall opened for them. And there were 5 women on the council at that time, and it was the women who voted yes. And I must say that Chris Ward voted with us, but we did make him an honorary woman. So it was okay. But now everybody knows what a good thing that is. And now we not only have women, children, and families, we have a special part of Golden Hall for youth and for men and for everybody. So we are really trying to resolve this problem. It's extremely complex and difficult, but we are working hard on it, and I know it can be resolved because I'm so old that when I was young, we didn't have homelessness because we had a good social safety net. And now we can rebuild it and make it even better than it ever was. So that's what we're about. And we need women to do that too, as well as men. So we're all going to do that. We're all in this together, every gender, every ethnic background, every race. We are all Americans, and nothing can stop us. So thank you so much, and thanks for recreating this commission.
So that's the end of our presentation, although, China, I might put you on the spot, if that's okay. If you wouldn't mind coming forward, as she does, I'll take the title. That's pretty high praise from my perspective. But, China, will you maybe share for folks here kind of the next steps in terms of the resurrection, the appointment process, so that we get some qualified candidates to serve on this board? Our Director of Boards and Commissions at the City, China Warren Darby.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, so we're very much looking forward to getting this commission back up and going. And so it's going to take probably about 2 to 3 months for us to go through the revival process. And so even if folks have people that they want to nominate, I would encourage you to just go ahead and shoot us an email. Email your council members and let them know that you have some interest there. And when the commission is ready and up and going, we will have it posted on our website. You can see these wonderful signs that we have here, encouraging people to join. Our website is onboard.sandiego.gov, and so the commission will be live there and people will be able to apply through that. So we just wanted to let you know that it's coming, to get ready for it, start looking for people that have interest, ladies that have interest to serve, and we're looking forward and exciting to getting this thing going. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody.